Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time you're watching this video. It's me again, Teacher Kent. And I'm sorry, but because of COVID, we still can't go back to school. But don't worry, I got you covered. We are just going to continue online learning. So for now, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. You see, we already finished about animals, their habitats, and their adaptations to those habitats. We went as far as Egypt or in the desert, the dry desert. We also went to the cold desert, which is in Antarctica. We found out the different ways animals adapted or evolved in order to live in their specific environments. We've traveled far and wide, but why don't we travel somewhere a little closer to home? Do you know what I mean? That's right. Today, we're gonna travel to Thailand, specifically the animal adaptations here in Thailand. Are you ready? Let's start. So let me just share my screen. I hope you can see it. There you go. Oh, let me just make my face a little bit bigger. There you go. We're going to Thailand and we're going to talk about the different animals in Thailand and how they adapt to living in a country that is very hot but not as hot as a desert and has a lot of plants and animals. Let's start. First off, this is the sun bear. It is found in the tropical forest of Southeast Asia. It is an animal that typically boasts jet black hair, a crest on the neck, and slightly bowed legs. The sun bear is the smallest bear species, making it appear cute to those lucky enough to spot one. But these bears still have enormous teeth and a strong bite. Deforestation has cut down on the living space of sun bears, but they still roam in the wild in the Khao Sok National Park in Phanom district of southern Thailand. Some hikers in the park report spotting the sun bears. Naturally, but guided tours can increase the likelihood of seeing these wonderful animals. Now, this is the bear that is native in Thailand. It's the sun bear. It's called a sun because of the crescent around its neck, the crest on its neck. How did this animal adapt to living in Thailand? Well, first, if you look at the picture, the sun bear has hair, has fur like other bear species, but it has less dense hair, meaning the fur, is a little bit thin compared to the other bears. Aside from that, it's also the smallest bear. Other bears, like the polar bear and the grizzly, they are very big. It helps them to keep warm during cold winter nights. In Thailand, you have what we call a dry winter. A dry winter means there is no snow. It is cold, but there is no snow. And most of the time, Thailand is hot. The sun bear adapted. It has fur in case of the cold winter, but not as cold as the snowy winter. It also has thin fur because of the heat in Thailand, and it is the smallest bear. It doesn't need to be what we call humongous to conserve their body heat. A small bear can just hide in the forest during the dry winters of Thailand. Let's go to another animal, the Siamese crocodiles. The Siamese crocodile is a freshwater species that, as the name suggests, is local to the region of Southeast Asia. However, there are very few Siamese crocodiles still found in the wild, and the few that remain are located in Cambodia. Thailand, however, is fortunate enough to have a number of Siamese crocodiles under their care. A handful of young Siamese crocodiles have been rescued or released in the wild at Pangsida National Park, but these are rarely accessible by everyday travelers. At the Samut Prakan Crocodile Farm outside of Pattaya, however, it is possible to see the reptile in captivity alongside as many as 60,000 other more common crocodiles. Now, technically, the Siamese crocodiles didn't are not found in Thailand. They are more likely found in Cambodia. However, some Thai scientists, some Thai people got a hold of some Siamese crocodiles and then they put it in the conservatory or in the national park. The best thing about Thailand is you have a lot of national parks, and in the national parks, it is forbidden to try and hunt animals. Do you know what? Do you know how important that is? It's very important because it helps the animals find a place to live. It helps to conserve the ecosystem of the animals, especially these Siamese crocodile. Isn't that amazing? Though the Siamese crocodile started in Cambodia, they are now living in Thailand. They are currently in the process of adapting to the Thailand weather. But thankfully, the Thailand weather and the Cambodian weather are not that far off. So let's go to another animal, the tokay gecko. I don't know if it's tokay or tokai. I think it's tokay. The tokay gecko is a large species of gecko and it is one that is native to Asia and to a select few Pacific islands. The tokay gecko is known for its distinct vocalizations, after which the reptile is named. Although the tokay gecko prefers to live in rainforest environments, it is not unusual to find one on the ceiling or shower walls of a hotel room in Thailand. These geckos are commonly spotted at night and they will be quickly recognized by their blue skin covered in orange dots. This is um it's very obvious if there is a tokay gecko in where you live or where you stay because as the name suggests, the tokay gecko has a unique way of sounding. It's tokay or toko or something to that sound effect. If you hear that sound effect at night near to you, don't be afraid. It's just a gecko, a specific gecko found in Asia, found in Thailand. Now, how did it adapt to this environment? Well, a lot of geckos, they are color green or black or brown. This one is color white and has lots of orange dots. If you remember, an animal will try to defend itself or make itself poisonous to other animals by coloring their skin a different color, especially a lot more vibrant or colorful shades of color. What is more vibrant than light blue and orange dots? Other animals will try to stay away from it and not eat it because they are afraid they might have poison. Let's go to the next animal, the king cobra. As the world's longest venomous snake, the king cobra is both a revered, and threatening animal to many. The king cobra is found in India and throughout Southeast Asia. and it prefers to live in dense highland forest. These long snakes are often found near water, lakes, or streams, although stumbling across a king cobra in the wild might appeal to some. Others prefer to see their poisonous reptiles in a safer environment. The Bangkok Snake Farm is a zoo and venom research facility where enormous king cobras can be spotted with ease. Now, the king cobra is the king of all the cobras. It's the biggest cobra. And as the biggest cobra, it can eat other smaller snakes. That's why it's a king cobra. How did the king cobra adapt to living in Thailand? Well, their scales will look almost identical to dried leaves or dried forests or near a bark of a tree. It can hide in camouflage, waiting for other small animals to it to fall into its trap. Now, it's not advisable. If you see a king cobra, do not go near it. It is venomous. Okay? But you can see a king cobra in the Bangkok Snake Farm. If you want to go there after COVID, when all of this is over. Okay, let's go to the other one, shall we? Oh, I'm sorry, suddenly closed it. Let's go to the other one. Oh, the crab eating macawi. The incredible crab eating macawi is a primate that has some unusual characteristics, as well as a unique society of its own. Crab-eating Mukawi have a female-dominated society, with the males leaving the group once they reach puberty. Some Thai people revere the crab-eating Mukawi as sacred, and there is more than one temple built to honor the primate. The Makawi is sometimes also known as the swimming monkey because of the great lengths it will go to find fresh seafood. Crab-eating Mukawi can be found in multiple locations throughout Thailand, but none so fascinating as the village of Lopburi, where the monkeys roam the streets and coexist with humans. I think you've seen a lot of monkeys in Thailand. There are a lot of monkeys, but the one thing that the crab eating Mukawi adapted is it can swim to get its favorite food, crabs. That's why it's called a crab eating Mukawi. And of course, ancient Thai people, think that the crab eating Mukawi is sacred. So they made some statues of the crab eating Mukawi. Hmm, that's very amazing. Oh, let's go to the next one, the Indo-Chinese tiger. The Indo-Chinese tiger is a rare tiger species, and across the globe, there are just 600 of these incredible animals remaining. Roughly 200 of them live in Thailand, where they tend to reside in tropical rainforests because the atmosphere is humid and they can better camouflage themselves. Most of the Indo-Chinese tigers in Thailand are located within the sprawling Keng Kaeng Wildlife Sanctuary in western Thailand. The summer or dry season sees the greatest number of visitors to the park, and it is also when travelers get the best chance of seeing an Indo Chinese tiger on a guided expedition. The Indo Chinese tiger is a rare tiger species. How did it adapt to living in Thailand? Well, they didn't adapt that much because thankfully the Thai government decided to protect these specific tigers. There are only 200 in Thailand. They used to number 1,000 or more all over the world. However, because a lot of people try to kill the tiger to get its fur, it's only less than 600 animals left. The best way for the tiger to adapt is to stay in the, what do we call this, in the tropical rainforest here in Thailand, especially the ones that are under the Thai government, so that it can increase its numbers and hopefully not become an endangered tiger species. If you want to see them, you can go to Ka Kaeng Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, let's go to the other one. The lar gibbon. Oh, another monkey. With long arms, long hands, and the ability to swing with ease from one tree branch to the next, the lar gibbon is the perfect example of a primate. Lar gibbons spend most of their time in tree canopies and they sleep in trees for 16 hours a day, making them a challenge to spot unless visitors know what it is to look for. However, with over 20,000 gibbons in Thailand, those on guided tours have a fantastic chance of spotting them. A popular spot to find the large gibbon is in Kaeng Krachan National Park, where tours follow whoo sounds, the main means of communication for these primates in order to locate the animals. So, how did the Lord given live or evolve living in Thailand? They evolved long arms and hands and the ability to swing with ease from one tree branch to the next because Thailand has a lot of forest and they live on top of the trees. They seldom go down and they don't need to go down because their food is on top of trees. That's amazing, right? The next is the whale shark. The enormous whale shark looks intimidating, but it's actually a filter feeder that uses its large mouth to collect plankton. The whale shark is the living non mammalian vertebrate, and it's exclusively in warm tropical waters where there is no risk of low temperatures. In Thailand, it is possible to go scuba diving and see these amazing whale sharks up close. Some divers are lucky enough to spot whale sharks in popular dive spots like Phuket and PP, but a near guaranteed sighting requires traveling to places like Richelieu Rock in the Andaman Sea. Now, the whale sharks, they are smart. They are everywhere that has hot waters. How did they adapt? They moved to Thailand because in Thailand, it is, I think, the whale shark is not allowed to be hunted. Of course, some people try to hunt the whale shark, but most of the time, the government protects them. That means they can safely find food in Thailand. They know that if they go to Thailand, they might be able to stay safe for a long time. Next is the dusky leaf monkey. The dusky leaf monkey goes by many names, including the spectacled leaf monkey and the spectacled langur. As is possible to guess from the name, this monkey has fur discoloration around the eyes, giving it the appearance of eyeglasses. The dusky leaf monkey is an adorable species that is among the animals in Thailand that many people want to see in the wild. While it is found in Malaysia, Burma, and Thailand, the greatest concentration of dusky leaf monkeys is in the Kaeng Krachan National Park, which is located right on the border with Burma. There are a lot of monkeys in Thailand. But do you know why that is? It's simply because the Thai government has a lot of national parks. Thailand has a lot of national parks. And speaking of national parks, if you talk about Thailand, we have the Thai elephant. Now, the Thai elephant, they live in the national parks. And the Thai people also try to take care of them. That's why they adapted by living in national parks that have many cars that pass by almost every day. They know that when they pass through a specific road, they will not get hit by the car. And that's unusual because elephants are smart. Any other elephant in other parts of the world, they will be afraid to pass a road that has a lot of cars because they know they might die there. But in Thailand, they adapted. They know that they are safe, so they can freely roam around a national park. That's it. I hope you enjoyed our trip around Thailand for today. See you in class. Bye.